I'm polyamorous now, deal with it, she announced after cheating with multiple coworkers, so I dealt with it by filing for divorce and moving across the country. Now her poly community has ostracized her for drama and she's monogamously obsessed with getting me back. Hey, before we move on to the video, please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Thanks. I never thought I'd be writing this story, but here we are. 3 years married, 5 years together total, and I genuinely believed Melissa was the love of my life. I'm Jake, 32, software engineer, and I thought I knew my wife. Turns out, I didn't know her at all. It started with the usual signs that every guy on Reddit warns about but you never think apply to your relationship. Melissa, who worked at a trendy marketing agency downtown, suddenly had a lot more team-building events. Late nights became the norm. Her phone, which used to sit casually on the counter, was now permanently glued to her hand, face down. It's just work stuff, babe, she'd say when I asked about the constant buzzing. You know how crazy the advertising world is. I wanted to believe her. Melissa had always been social, always had a large circle of friends. She was the extrovert to my introvert, the life of the party to my quiet corner observations. I loved that about her. I loved that she could light up a room while I was content to watch her shine. But something felt different. She started using words I'd never heard her use before. Heteronormative, toxic monogamy, relationship anarchy. She'd come home from work events talking about how evolved her coworkers were, how they were breaking free from societal programming. That's interesting, I'd say, because I genuinely found it interesting. I've always been open-minded, even if I'm more traditional in my own values. Tell me more about what they mean by that. She'd get this look in her eyes, like she was seeing me for the first time, and not in a good way. Oh, you wouldn't understand, Jake. You're too conventional. The word stung more than it should have. Conventional, like it was something to be ashamed of. 3 months into this new phase, I found out what was really going on. Melissa had left her laptop open, and a group chat notification popped up. The preview was enough to make my stomach drop. Jake's at his D&D game, so I'm free until midnight. I shouldn't have clicked. I should have closed the laptop and waited for her to explain. But I clicked. The group chat was called Marketing Misfits, and it was a goldmine of information I never wanted to possess. Screenshots of their conversations revealed everything. Melissa wasn't just staying late for work. She was sleeping with at least 3 different coworkers. Marcus from the creative team, David from accounts, some intern named Tyler who couldn't have been older than 23. The messages were explicit, detailed, and worst of all, mocking. They joked about their boring partners at home. Melissa had written, Jake's sweet, but he's like vanilla ice cream. Safe and predictable. Sometimes you need some rocky road, you know? I sat there for 2 hours, reading months of messages. My hands were shaking. My chest felt like it was caving in. But weirdly, I wasn't angry. I was disappointed. Disappointed in her, in us, in the whole situation. When she came home that night, I was sitting at the kitchen table with her laptop open. We need to talk, I said. She saw the screen and her face went through a series of expressions, surprise, fear, defiance, and finally, something that looked almost like relief. Okay, she said, sitting down across from me. I guess you found out. Yeah, I found out. I kept my voice steady. Multiple people, Melissa. For months. She nodded, not even trying to deny it. I was going to tell you. When? I don't know. When I figured out how to explain it properly. She leaned forward, and I could see her switching into what I now recognize as manipulation mode. Jake, I've been doing a lot of thinking, a lot of reading, a lot of soul-searching. I've realized that I'm polyamorous. It's not cheating. It's who I am. I blinked. Polyamorous. Yes. Monogamy is just societal programming, Jake. It's not natural. I'm polyamorous now. Deal with it. This is who I really am, and I'm not going to apologize for being authentic to myself. The confidence in her voice was startling. She wasn't apologetic or remorseful. She was lecturing me. Okay, I said. Tell me about polyamory. She brightened, like she'd been waiting for this moment. It's about love without possession. It's about recognizing that one person can't meet all your needs, and that's okay. It's about being evolved enough to move past jealousy and ownership. And you've been practicing this for how long? About 4 months. I know I should have told you sooner, but I needed to figure myself out first. I needed to understand what this meant for me, without including me in that process. Because I knew you'd react like this. She gestured at my face. You're already being judgmental. You can't even consider that maybe, just maybe, there's another way to love. I looked at my wife, really looked at her. The woman I'd shared a bed with for 5 years, who I'd supported through her career changes and family drama and anxiety attacks. The woman who used to tell me I was her best friend, her soulmate, her everything. Melissa, I said carefully, if you're polyamorous, that's your choice. I respect that, but I'm not. I'm monogamous. I want one partner who wants only me. We're incompatible now. Her face fell. What do you mean? I mean, I understand. You want to explore this lifestyle, and I want a monogamous marriage. We want different things. We're not compatible anymore. You're not. You're not going to fight for us. Fight for what? You've told me who you are. I believe you. And I'm telling you who I am. I'm someone who wants monogamy. She stared at me for a long moment. You don't love me enough. I love you enough to let you be who you want to be. But I also love myself enough not to accept a relationship that makes me miserable. Jake, you're being dramatic. This doesn't have to change anything between us. You can still be my primary partner. I don't want to be your primary partner, Melissa. I want to be your only partner. And you don't want that. She tried to argue, tried to convince me that I was being closed-minded, that I was letting society's expectations ruin our love. But I was done. I was surprisingly, completely done. The next morning, I called in sick to work and drove to a lawyer's office. By the end of the week, Melissa had been served with divorce papers. She was shocked. You're really doing this? She asked when she called me. I'm really doing this. Over something so stupid? Over some antiquated idea of ownership? No, Melissa. Over the fact that we want different things. You want multiple partners. I want one. It's that simple. I can't believe you're throwing away 5 years over this. I'm not throwing it away. You already did. She hung up on me. The divorce was finalized 3 months later. Melissa had moved in with Marcus, posting Instagram stories about living authentically and breaking free from toxic monogamy. She seemed happy. Good for her. I, meanwhile, had been quietly job hunting. A company in Portland had been trying to recruit me for months, and I finally said yes. New city, new job, new life. I didn't tell Melissa I was leaving. We were divorced. She wasn't entitled to my plans anymore. Portland was exactly what I needed. The tech scene was booming. My new job was challenging and fulfilling, and I had space to breathe. I got a small apartment downtown, started hiking on weekends, joined a book club. I even started dating occasionally, nothing serious, just rediscovering who I was as a single person. Life was good. Quiet, but good. Then, about 6 months after my move, I started getting texts. Hey, how are you? Thinking about you lately. Hope you're doing well. I didn't respond. We were divorced. We had nothing to talk about. The texts escalated. Jake, I miss talking to you. Can we please just talk? I made some mistakes. I see that now. I've been thinking about what you said about compatibility. Still nothing from me. Then came the phone calls. Long, rambling voicemails that I deleted without listening to completely. From what I caught, she was having realizations about what really mattered and wanted to explore the possibility of reconnecting. I blocked her number. She started reaching out through mutual friends. Our friend Sarah called me one evening. Jake, Melissa asked me to talk to you. She says she's been trying to reach you. She has been. I'm not interested in talking to her. She says she made a mistake, that she wants to work things out. Sarah, we're divorced. There's nothing to work out. She says she's changed, that she realizes monogamy is important to her now. I actually laughed. Now it's important to her? She seems really sincere, Jake. Maybe you should hear her out. I've heard enough. Please don't bring this up again. Sarah didn't, but Tom did. Then Jessica. Then even my former coworker Mike, who barely knew Melissa. She was making the rounds, trying to find someone who could convince me to talk to her. It was pathetic, honestly. The breaking point came when she showed up at my old job. I only found out because my former manager called me. Hey Jake, weird question, but your ex-wife showed up here looking for you. Should I be concerned? She's not dangerous, I said. Just persistent. If she comes back, tell her I don't work there anymore and you don't have my contact information. Will do. You doing okay, man? Yeah, I'm doing great actually. And I was doing better than great. I was thriving. But Melissa wasn't done. She somehow found out I was in Portland and booked a flight. She showed up at my apartment building on a Saturday morning. My doorman called up. Mr. Thompson? There's a Melissa here to see you. Says she's your wife. Ex-wife, I corrected. Please tell her I'm not available. I tried, sir. She's persistent. She says she flew here from Chicago just to see you. I sighed. Send her up. She looked different. Thinner, tired, less put together than the Melissa I remembered. She was wearing a simple dress instead of her usual attention-grabbing outfits. Her hair was shorter, more conservative. Hi, Jake. Melissa. You flew to Portland. I needed to see you. She looked around my apartment, taking in the space I'd built without her. This is nice. You always had good taste. What do you want, Melissa? I want to talk. Really talk. I've been trying to reach you for months. I know. I've been ignoring you. Why? I gestured to my couch. Sit. Let's have this conversation. She sat, and I could see hope creeping into her eyes. That made what I was about to do both easier and harder. I made a mistake, Jake. A huge mistake. I see that now. Okay. The polyamory thing. It wasn't real. It wasn't love. It was just. I don't know. I was confused. I was caught up in what my coworkers were saying, what seemed cool and progressive. But it was all fake. Fake how? None of those guys cared about me. They just wanted sex without commitment. They used me. And when I tried to create actual relationships with them, they bolted. Marcus moved to California without even telling me. David started dating someone else exclusively. Tyler, God, Tyler was just a kid who wanted to sleep with an older woman. I'm sorry that happened to you. Are you? Because you seem pretty cold about it. I'm not cold, Melissa. I'm just not surprised. You chose people who were telling you what you wanted to hear instead of someone who actually loved you. You actually loved me. I did. Past tense? Past tense? She was quiet for a moment. The poly community thing was a disaster too. I thought I'd found these enlightened people who understood love differently, but they were just as petty and dramatic as anyone else. Maybe more so. They ostracized me when I got too possessive of Marcus. Called me a unicorn hunter when I tried to find a couple to date. Said I was bringing toxic energy to their events. That sounds difficult. It was. And through all of it, I kept thinking about you. About us. About what we had. What we had was good, Melissa. But it's over. It doesn't have to be. She leaned forward, and I could see the desperation she was trying to hide. I've learned so much about myself, Jake. About what I really want. About what really matters. Which is you. Us. A real relationship. A monogamous relationship. I see now that you were right. One person can be enough. One person can be everything. I studied her face. So you're not polyamorous anymore? No. I never really was. I was just lost. Confused. Caught up in something that wasn't real. Melissa, do you hear yourself right now? What do you mean? 6 months ago, you told me that monogamy was societal programming. That I was too conventional. That being polyamorous was who you really were, and I needed to deal with it. I was wrong. Were you? Or are you just wrong now? She looked confused. I don't understand. You're sitting here, talking about monogamy like it's the only way to love. You're obsessed with getting back together with me exclusively. You're talking about one person being everything. That sounds pretty possessive to me. Pretty. What did you call it? Toxic. That's not. I'm not. You are. You're being exactly what you said was wrong with me. You're being possessive. You're being jealous. You're trying to own me. I'm not trying to own you, Jake. I'm trying to love you. No, you're not. You're trying to ease your guilt. You're trying to undo a mistake. You're trying to get back something you threw away. I'm trying to get back something I threw away. The best thing that ever happened to me. You said monogamy was societal programming, Melissa. I guess I'm just too programmed for you. The silence stretched between us. I could see her processing what I'd said, see the moment she realized I was using her own words against her. That's not fair, she whispered. Isn't it? You made a choice. You chose to believe that what we had wasn't enough. You chose to believe that I wasn't enough. You chose to throw away 5 years for some sexual adventure. And now that it didn't work out, you want to come back to your safety net. You're not a safety net to me. That's exactly what I am. I'm the guy who will always love you, right? The guy who will take you back no matter what you do? The reliable, boring, conventional guy who will be here whenever you're done exploring. Jake, please. I'm not that guy anymore, Melissa. That guy died when you told him he was too programmed to understand real love. She started crying. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I know I hurt you. I know I was wrong. But people make mistakes. People learn and grow and change. They do. And I've learned that I deserve someone who doesn't need to shop around to figure out that I'm enough. I've grown into someone who won't accept being someone's second choice. And I've changed into someone who knows his worth. I'm not asking you to be my second choice. I'm asking you to be my only choice. Too late. Why? I stood up. Because I don't want to be chosen, Melissa. I want to be wanted. From the beginning. Without comparison. Without experimentation. Without backup plans. I do want you. You want the security I represent. You want the love you remember. But you don't want me. If you wanted me, you never would have left. I was confused. And now you're desperate. There's a difference. She stood up too, reaching for me. Jake, please. I flew across the country. I've been trying to reach you for months. I've changed my entire perspective on relationships. What more can I do? Nothing, I said, walking to the door. There's nothing you can do. Because this isn't about what you can do. It's about what you already did. Everyone deserves a second chance. Everyone deserves a first chance. You had yours. You threw it away. I opened the door. You should go, Melissa. You should go back to Chicago and find someone who's excited about your journey of self-discovery. Someone who's impressed by your growth. Someone who doesn't know that you're only monogamous now because polyamory didn't work out for you. You're being cruel. I'm being honest. Maybe that's the same thing. She walked to the door, then turned back. I love you, Jake. I really do love you. I know you do. That's what makes this so sad. Sad. You love me now that you can't have me. You want me now that I'm gone. You appreciate monogamy now that you've been rejected by multiple people. Everything you feel for me is reactive, Melissa. It's not genuine choice. It's elimination by process. That's not true. It is true. And we both know it. She left. I watched from my window as she got into a taxi, probably heading back to the airport. I felt nothing. No sadness. No regret. No second thoughts. Just relief that it was finally over. That was 8 months ago. I heard through Sarah that Melissa moved back in with her parents. She's been through a series of short-term relationships, each one failing for different reasons. She's developed what Sarah calls an obsession with finding the one. Someone who will love her unconditionally and monogamously. I'm still in Portland. I met someone, Emma, a librarian who loves hiking and makes the best coffee I've ever tasted. We're taking things slow, but it's good. Really good. She's never been married, never had her heart broken by polyamory, never had to discover that she values monogamy. She just knows what she wants, and she wants it with me. Sometimes I wonder if Melissa will ever find what she's looking for. Part of me hopes she does. Part of me thinks she won't, because she's looking for someone to undo her mistake instead of someone to make new memories with. But that's not my problem anymore. I dealt with it, just like she asked me to. I dealt with it by walking away from someone who thought I wasn't enough and walking towards someone who knows I am. Turns out, I'm not too programmed after all. I'm just programmed right. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button.